Okay, so we are back, and I put the cover inside of the paper pad and flipped the paper pad over to make sure that the cover would stay flat. I'm not sure if I'm going to need this. It still feels a little gritty from using the embossing powders with it, so that I don't like about it. But other than that, it seems to be okay. So, and I put all my scraps in the back here. So I'm kind of lost as to where I'm going from here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it. Let's do that. I can't show the stitching because of where the sewing machine is, but I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch in red all the way around, and I'll be back. Okay, so we are back again, and I stitched it. I did pretty good. I had a skip stitch, which is why I wanted a new sewing machine. But I can still see some puckering again, but that's going to be fine. We're going to cover it up. So you could go ahead and score this in the center, but I'm just going to go ahead and fold it. And remember, the paper goes on the inside, so I'm just going to match up the corners of my paper. Since the fabric is a bit irregular and not exact, but the paper is, just going to line it up with the paper. So I've got my corners to meet, and now I'm just going to take my bone folder and fold it. Okay, so there we have the beginnings of our cover. I'm going to set this aside for now, but we are going to need it. And then I have these scrap papers from the other situation that I had going on over there. So this is actually blue, not green. Okay. And I kind of want to stay with traditional colors, but I might want it to have a bit of a vintage feel. And I'm thinking I want to use this as my second panel. If you remember, this had a base panel here, and then it had a second mat or panel on top of it. So I kind of want to stick with that, and I really am enjoying the plaid, so I think I'm going to use that. But do I want to use it on top of the green, or on top of which green? I think I might do that might be a little too bright. I think I better do this green. I think those two look good together. Okay, so let's do that. And with any luck, we'll have enough for the back too. I might do the reverse on the back. Let's see, let's put this away. So I may need to do the reverse on the back, kind of like I did. Well, I used a different paper here. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, just kind of eyeballing it, placing, actually I'm going to flip this over so that I can see where my marks are. So I'm going to leave a border around where the paper goes, or my mat, or my panel, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm just going to take a pencil and kind of mark off where I want to cut. And actually I should probably just go on and cut two of those, one for the front, one for the back. So get the paper trimmer out and trim the paper where my mark is. Okay, so then I'm just going to take this and mark it again for my back panel. So we got one for the front, one for the back. So that seems good. Now I just want to measure off how I want the front piece to be. And I guess I'll do the same thing, flip it over so I can see where I mark at. So I'm gonna put it like right there. I'm trying to leave maybe like 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And this time, I'm just gonna cut this bottom strip off all the way across, and then we'll just have to worry about getting the width of each panel right. So, let's see. And then I'm just gonna take this and mark this piece where I wanna cut it. Now, using the back of the paper like that, that works if you have a pattern that makes it difficult to see where your pencil mark is. But if you have directional paper that needs to go a certain way, then that's probably not a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together, but I'm going to ink the edges first. And I've been using the black soot for these, and do I want to switch? I think I'm going to stick with the black soot. So, and I'm using one of these Dollar Tree sponges. This is not my favorite thing to use, but I have it accessible, easily accessible. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. And I'm really just going along the edge to get rid of the core, the white core of the paper, or the white backing, just so you don't see that. So I'm doing all 4 panels. Okay, so now I'm just going to take one of these panels and glue it on. But I'm only going to glue it on 3 sides for the front. So we're doing the front first. So 3 sides, and I should probably even put a little pull here, but I'm not, because whatever I put in there, I'm going to put a small tab on it. So we're not going to do a pull. So I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue, and I need to do that trick where you put the magnet on there so I don't lose my pen, but I have been sticking it in a roll of washi tape that's over here beside me, so that's a pretty good place for it. So I'm just going to do the 3 sides, the top, the left, and the bottom. And then just going to do my best to center that on here and make sure it's straight. Get my napkin, press that down. Okay, so then this goes on here like this, and I could do some more stitching, but I don't want to. I don't really enjoy sewing, so I'm going to use this 3-in-1 for this part since it's going on fabric. I could probably use the Barely Arts, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do the 3-in-1, and I am going to do all 4 sides and the center. Generous amount of glue, because I'm in Florida, and I don't know, I just worry about things coming apart because of the humidity and heat. So I try to be generous with the glue. Okay, then again, if you have directional paper, make sure you're putting it on the right direction. Make sure our pocket is on the right side, or on the correct side, which is the right side. And then I kind of use the fold of the spine to line it up, because everything else is a little jagged, and that's like the straightest edge. So there we have that. Let's make sure it is down Then I'm just gonna go on the other side and make sure it's glued down good. Just put a little extra adhesive on the corners. Now the top looks a little crooked to me, but then maybe it was just the way I was looking at it. I don't know. So let's do the back. Okay, so we're gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna do it that way. And this time I'm just gonna glue the whole thing down. I'm not gonna leave a pocket. Oh, I didn't go down here. Center that. Then I'm gonna do the 3-in-1 on the back. Okay, so that's that. Now the next step would be to put on this closure, and I said that I might just put a ribbon underneath, but it's too late now. So I'm gonna do another one of these closures, and I think I did this at, let's see, 2 inches wide, and I think I cut it 6 inches long. So a 2x6 piece of cardstock. Hands cramping up on me. I would love to use that again, but I won't. I'll use this contrasting color. So let's see if this is the right size or close to it. So it's a little wider than 2, but I think I'm gonna leave it. And then it's at least 6 inches long. It's too long, so we're gonna cut it down to 6 inches. Is that right? Let me check again. Check again. So yeah, that's 3 over there and 3 back here, 6 inches. So 6 inches. And then I may need to trim the width. I just thought about it because the punch that I use requires a certain width. Well, it works better with a certain width. This is a punch from the Paper Studio, which I think is a Hobby Lobby brand. And okay, so this is about 2.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to place that in here and punch. So yeah, this one is slightly wider, so it has a little more detail on it, which is fine. Okay, and you can do any kind of shape here. You don't have to do this shape. You could just leave it squared and round the corners. If you don't have this punch, if you have some other type of punch that can do just a decorative edge, you could do that. And I really don't like this thing because it's got little crumbs coming off of it. So we might have to get rid of that. I do like that it has a little point. Okay, so then I'm gonna make my hole reinforcements. And did I do it on both sides? No. So let's see if I got a little scrap here that I can make those from. I wonder how that would look. So to do the hole reinforcements, I punch the center hole first. And I find these to be so much fun. I punched a whole bunch of them from scraps the other day. And they're actually in here. Let me see if any of these will match. I'm definitely going to use that, but I just, yeah. No, these were from when I was making the leaves on my other channel. So once you punch your main hole, you don't want to punch them too close. I might have punched those too close. I don't know. I have this 5/8 inch hole punch here. So then I can easily line it up with the smaller hole in the center. If you do it the other way, it's not so easy to line it up. And I don't think that's enough contrast. I'm going to go ahead and punch both of these, but I don't think I'm going to use them. It's not enough contrast. It just blends right in. So maybe I should use a cream color, or would red work? Let's see if red will work. I don't have any small strips of this before I cut into that. Let's see. I do. Okay. Save the big scraps for other things like tags or whatever. I think this might look better. And then let's see. Let's see, I can line it up centered. Come on out. Okay, so we'll save these for another time. So again, let's see. Let's see how that's gonna look. I mean, it's not as bright as the other one, but I think it's okay. So we're gonna go with the red and just ink around the edges. And then I had a Q-tip for this to get into the center of the circle there, but yeah, I don't know where the Q-tip went. I'll probably put it in my ink storage box. So now I'm going to take my glue and adhere this carefully. I'm going to have to clean my mat soon. I hope it's going to hold up. Put one on here. So what I didn't do on this one, which I will probably do, is actually glue it all the way down. It needs to be glued all the way down. So, oh, and I doubled it because I thought it needed to have a little more strength, but I don't think I need that on this one because I am going to glue it all the way down. That one I thought, you know, it's kind of like my prototype. I thought that it would work okay to be not glued, but after I, you know, I thought it would be more stable once I stitched it, but it wasn't. So I added a little glue to the spine area. So that's why I think it needs to be glued all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold that. Ink just a little bit. And then this will go on here all the way. It will be glued down. Then I need to figure out what I want to put here. What I did before was just take a piece of tea stained paper that was already torn like this, and kind of just tore the shape that I wanted out of it. So let's see, let's go with that. It's a little shaped a little weird. I don't like that. Okay, so there, and then I actually made this into a little tuck spot, which I'm not sure that's such a good idea because the tags are falling out. So I don't think I'm gonna do that on this one, but I am going to put a label on here. So this is my scraps from working on this previously. And let's see, do I have a label in here? Oh, and I had this paper that I had wanted to use. Where did it go? It was a little scrap. This. And let's see, do I have enough of this ribbon left? I don't think so. That would have been perfect, but I don't have enough. I really want to use this piece. Let's see, I've got something to let's put this up. Complement it. Do I have any scrap pieces of fabric that I can pull from? Too many strings hanging off. So if we do it kind of like that or like that, see if a piece of good old book page will help. Oh, I'm still not happy with that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give up on that. Use it somewhere else. But I do like the book page being on there. And then let me find a label to go on this, and maybe I'll put a number on it or something and see what that looks like. Okay, so I got my box with my labels and tabs in it actually. So I cut out a bunch of stuff the other night. Some of these numbers are from Shabby Dabby Doodah, and some are from Pleasant Creations. So let's see what we can come up with. It would be nice to have a number that said 25. But I don't think there's anything in here like that. Let's see if we can do something with that. This is always the hardest part for me. It takes me forever to come up with what I actually want to put on. Even though this is outlined in red, I'm going to hit it with the black because it did not cut evenly. I cut these out with my Cricut, so And then I'm going to hit the journal as well. So I'm going to put this like this, this over here, like that, this like this, or like this, or like that. I really don't like the way that looks. It looks too neat, doesn't it? So I'm going to start with the fabric. Let's just put it down. Okay. So that goes there. I think this goes here. The problem is I don't really have a whole lot of Christmas deco stuff, like little die cuts and things like that. I have papers and things like that, but but not a lot of Christmas or holiday type other things. So I don't know. And I may just do what I did before, because it's gonna need something on this cover. So I'm gonna make this like a belly band tuck spot again. And I'm not gonna glue it all the way down. So it's gonna go like this. Feel like I need something over there, but that is too bright and intrusive. So I got this little piece of crochet trim. It's got the tape still stuck on it, and I know that tape's not coming off. So maybe we can do something with this. The weather really is acting up around here lately. So I'm just going to put that right there. Like that. And I should be using the 3-in-1. But let's see how this does without it. And that still leaves me room to put a couple of little teeny tags in there. Okay. So, hopefully that's up high enough that this doesn't interfere with it. Or I'm just gonna have to put it right here. Let's see. These are things I should have took into account beforehand. So we're talking 4 1/4. So about here is the center, and there is the center. Okay, we just barely made it. Okay, so I'll probably put a little more something up there when I think of something or find something that will work. This just doesn't go. So for the closure, I had actually torn some fabric for the other one to use previously. Let's see, I got it all mixed up here. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use those pieces that I had torn Hopefully they don't unravel too much. And I'll use those because I don't have enough of the other ribbon. So let's go ahead and put these on just to see what it looks like. Okay, and then the back. I'm just gonna loop it through. Okay, so that's how the outside cover is going to look for the most part. I may even come back and put a little something down here. I don't know. Anywho, moving on to the inside. Okay, I've already messed up. I wanted that pocket to go across the bottom, so we're gonna have to fully adapt. But it doesn't match now that I look at it again. That's blue, so that really didn't match our color scheme, unfortunately. So I may fussy cut some of those out and use them somewhere else. I did this wrong. It's been honestly, it's been a couple of days since I started the cover. Well, 2 days. So I forgot. This is why I need to be able to just sit down and do the whole thing at one time. I don't know. Does that look good with that? I kind of wanted to stay away from foil on this as well, which is going to be difficult. There's so many foil pages in this collection. Since I love the buffalo plaid, let's see what I can do with that. I do not like that I messed that up. Okay, I'm gonna have to get over it, recover. So I think I want to cut this here, kind of make a deep pocket, and here. And I should have marked it on the other side so I can see that, but hopefully we'll be fine. I'm sliding out of my chair. I need a new chair. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this all the way across like so, and then like so, and then that's gonna be our pocket. Should we put some kind of decorative edge on it? I think that looks fine just like that. We don't need the extra. So let's do it. Do it. Do it, Roger. Do it. So this is some trim. I think I got this from Joann a while ago, and I'm trying to just use it up. I'm gonna cut it a little too big so that I can center it and then trim it down. I'm almost out too. Okay, so I'm just gonna run a little bead of 3-in-1 along that edge. And make sure I'm on the right side of the lace trim, however you want to call it, and then place it in the glue right on that edge. And you could sew that in addition to. I'm not going to. So here I'm just gonna cut off the excess for the most part. Okay, and then that is going to go right there. It's a pretty deep pocket, so we can actually put something on here like this book belongs to, or this journal belongs to. I need to make some labels like that, because everyone that I see, I even have one in my little box, says this book belongs to, and I want mine to say this journal belongs to. I think I'll have those types of basic things in my shop. I'm already have some Christmas words and phrases in a variety of traditional colors in my Etsy shop and in the shop on my website at SCRAPCRAFTASTIC.com. Why did I just use that glue? I don't know why I just used that glue, but I used it. I could have used the Barely Art glue. And then on the back, I think I want to do like a vellum, one of those banker's pockets. Is that what that's called? I think that's what I want to do on the back. So we're going to stop here for now on the cover, and then we will come back and work on the back cover and adding in our papers and stitching it up. Hopefully we can get all of that done at once. But so that's it. This is where we are so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.